am interested in making sure that the rules of extradition are obeyed. Now, we don't have an extradition treaty with Russia, which makes it more complicated. You don't have to have an extradition treaty, though, to resolve some of these issues. There have been some useful conversations that have taken place between the United States government and the Russian government. And my continued expectation is that Russia or other countries that have talked about potentially providing Mr. Snowden asylum recognize that they are part of an international community and that they should be abiding by international law. And we'll continue to press them as hard as we can to make sure that they do so.
All right, Barack Obama earlier today in Senegal. Welcome back. Steve Malzberg with you on the Steve Malzberg Show. We're joined now by Peter Brookes, Senior Fellow in National Security Affairs for the Heritage Foundation and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. Hello, Peter.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
So I woke up this morning, and maybe I get up a little late. Actually, not to that soundbite, but I want you to hear this. This is a short one. This will be 25, okay. Will. And I couldn't believe what I heard, and I said immediately, I said to Chad, I said, please, let's try to get Peter Brookes, because I can't believe what I'm hearing. Here's cut 25.
No, I'm not going to be scrambling jets to get a 29-year-old hacker.
Now, even if you, first of all, I thought that the United States of America considers him more than a hacker. They've charged him as such. They've requested his extradition. They're trying to get Russia to cooperate without an extradition treaty. They've already warned Ecuador, who's now spitting our face again, saying, you better not give him asylum. And Ecuador basically said, screw you. So he doesn't view him as a 28-year-old hacker. But even if he did, why wouldn't his answer be no comment? Why would he? Why, if he's lying on purpose, would he do that? If he's telling the truth, would he do that? Why would he address that?
It's 3 words. No drama, Obama. Okay? Steve, he doesn't want to make this a big story. And he wants to try to push it off the side. I mean, he's not a 29-year-old hacker. He's a 29-year-old spy, right? The government has charged him with espionage. So, I mean, I think the president is trying to change the story, doesn't want people to get excited about it because he's had the United States has had its nose tweaked by both the Chinese and the Russians. So he's just trying to move beyond it. There are people working on this issue, but the more if he draws a line in the sand again, creates a red line or something for the Russians, the more likely he's going to look bad. So I think the exposure of American weakness, since this has happened internationally, is something the president is just trying to get beyond.
Would it not have behooved him, and would not most presidents or most foreign leaders, anyone in that position, given that question, would they not have said, we're not going to telegraph what we may or may not do, and then say we're going through the legal channels. But to say no, we're not going to do it. So now, in your view, does it preclude him doing it after he said we won't do it? Does he now?
Well, maybe for him it is. It wouldn't be for me. I mean, I think what he's referring to there is there's a sense that if a Russian aircraft, like an Aeroflot, flew through American airspace on its way to Cuba, that the U.S. might intercept it.
Right, which we have a right to do over our own airspace.
Yeah, that you could do that. You could force a plane down. I think I'm not a lawyer, so.
No, but we had one on. We had one on at the beginning of the week, an international law expert who said that certainly is a legal option.
Yeah, you could force the plane down, and that's probably why he didn't get on a plane in the first place. Is one of his support staff with WikiLeaks or others probably said, "Hey, there's a possibility, considering the flight and the route of the flight, that you could end up in American airspace and they could force you down." So, I mean, he's just trying to downplay this as if nothing bad has happened. But the fact of the matter is that we've had this tremendous exposure of American intelligence capabilities. We don't even know the extent of it at this point, and he doesn't want it to. He's been dissed by Putin and by the Chinese, and he doesn't want to bring it up anymore. This is the last thing he really wants to talk about. He didn't want to defend the program in the first place.
Right.
And then he
No. We lost Peter? No. All right, try to hang up, try to get him right. He probably is still talking as we got him? Oh, we don't. Okay, try to get him back. Try to get him back ASAP because we're running out of time. That happens an awful lot. Yeah, and notice the minute he said NSA, he didn't want to defend the NSA program anyway, and then boom, click, and we're off. I'm not saying anything, you know. Hey, Peter, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Where'd you go, Steve?
I think the NSA got us. To be honest with you, the second you said he didn't want to defend the NSA program, it was click, goodbye.
That's right. He didn't want to defend the NSA program, and now he's got to defend it. He's got to do something about this. I mean, it's been, oh my goodness, how many weeks have we had of bad news for the president?
Oh well, we only have a couple of minutes left, Peter.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: now Ecuador is saying, "Don't threaten us." I mean, we are being. It's not only the intelligence loss and the harm it's doing to our country is immense, I'm sure. But look at a Mickey Mouse country like Ecuador, with all due respect to Ecuadorians, and of course Russia, our friend, who we're going to unilaterally cut nukes for and give missile defense concessions for, and of course China, who we are trading partner, and the great Barack Obama. I thought it was only George Bush who instilled all this ill will.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, he's been mugged by reality of the international community, and these most recent situations, this dissing by the international community is the latest example of the waning of our power and influence in the international community, courtesy of this administration. I mean, you think about it, nobody seems to fear the United States anymore. And this is, I don't know if this is by design or this is just what has happened. But the fact of the matter is that people are not paying attention to our warnings, and it's bad news for us.
It is. All right, Peter, I really thank you for answering my call because I needed a little dose of sanity. I thank you. Always great to talk.